Hey guys, Mike from Nerd Problems Gaming here, and welcome to Nerd Problems Gaming, the channel where we go through the good and bad of everything nerdy to make sure you spend your time on the best of the best. And if you haven't done so, be sure to subscribe and turn on those bell notifications to get the latest updates of every nerd video we put out here. But in today's video, I'll be going through a review of Castlevania Chorus of Mysteries, so let's get into it. So if you're not familiar with Castlevania, basically the series itself follows the Belmont clan for the most part, and they're vampire hunters, and their goal is to defeat Dracula on an ongoing basis. So he always tends to reincarnate, get revived somehow, and so you follow that storyline of the Belmonts. And so this game is actually a hack of the original Castlevania game. And if you're not familiar with what a hack is, basically they'll take a base game and then they'll go into the code and alter it and, you know, either enhance the graphics or kind of improve some of the flaws in the game or change up the music or how things look, the game style, right? And so what this game did, it's actually created by Optimon and Dr. Mario. I don't know what the real names are, but that's what was listed for the hack here. But basically what they did is most of the time you find, like I said, hacks go in and kind of do cosmetic fixes or fix kind of difficulties in the game or annoyances and kind of make it more playable. But what they actually did with this game is instead of just minor differences, they actually created a whole new full-blown game. And so the story of this game actually takes place after Castlevania, after Castlevania 2 and 3, as well as Symphony of the Night. So if you're not familiar with those, like I said, the original Castlevania follows Simon Belmont of the Belmont clan going to take on Dracula and defeat him. You know, Simon's Quest is the second Castlevania game that follows kind of the sequel to that original game. And then Castlevania 3 on the NES was actually a prequel and follows the story of Trevor Belmont, who also in his journey meets up with some other different heroes, and one of them is Grant Dynasty. And so they take down Dracula in that game as well. But this game actually follows the story of Armand Dynasty, who's actually a descendant of Grant from Castlevania 3. And so this game actually takes place 3 years after the events of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So basically Alucard has just defeated Dracula, and Armand in this game is kind of finding out about his ancestry and is taking on Orlok's castle, which is basically a follower of Dracula. And so it follows his storyline, and he uses a special whip, kind of like the Belmonts, to take on evil. And so you follow his journey throughout this castle in this game. Now, like I said, this follows the hack of the original Castlevania game, and so with that, it's going to be that kind of linear play style, side-scrolling platforming action of the game. But they made a lot of different enhancements in this game, which is why I really like it. So instead of just being little different things that they do, it's an entire full-blown game that they went ahead and built out. So there's all new music, all new graphics. There's also additional weapons. So normally some of the main weapons that you have is like an axe, holy water, a cross, and a knife. But in this game, they add in laurels, which is kind of like an temporary invincibility to the game as well. So that was not in the original Castlevania. So that's pretty cool that they added that feature into it as well. But again, in addition to brand new graphics, full new levels, there's new bosses as well. So it's really like a full-blown brand new Castlevania game. So I guess maybe this would be almost like Castlevania 5 on the NES, right? So it's a pretty cool game that I highly recommend. It's a lot of fun. With it though, it is super hard, right? This is a challenging Castlevania game, so I think it probably would fit the mold if you're a veteran of this series and you've played a lot of the original games. You're definitely going to have a challenge with this game. It's pretty hard, but at the same time, why I like it so much is that it's not hard in a cheap way, right? You know, a lot of times in the other Castlevania games, you get hit, you get knocked back, and you fall into like a pit or a hole. It doesn't happen a ton in this game. Obviously, it's in there to some extent, but I really felt like a lot of the bosses, you just really needed to learn their patterns, find the right weapons, and use them accordingly against those boss battles and then throughout the stages. So they give you really what you need as you're playing. So they're going to have weapon drops that are probably ideal for the specific situation that you're trying to get through in the game, or same thing with the boss fight. But then there's other times where you do need to plan ahead, where you might bring a weapon from the early parts of the stage, use it all the way through to the boss fight to be able to defeat them. So it's a lot of fun. It's a high challenging level with it, but with the complete redesign of the game, the new storyline, the graphics, the all new boss fights, it's really one that you should definitely check out. Now, normally, if you want to play this game, typically you have to play it online through like an emulator, but they also do, I've found, sell this on online as well. So I've found copies of it on Amazon, but then people also have it for sale on Etsy, and then they kind of have their own unique cover art and NES cartridge that they build out for this game. So it's pretty cool. So you are able to pick up physical copies of this game if you want, but then there are other options to play it online as well. So just search for it on Google if you want to find that and be able to play it online as well. But definitely worth picking up if you haven't played this game and if you're a fan of the original Castlevania and the Castlevania series. But let me know in the comments below if you guys have ever played any cool hacks of games as well. If you found that there's good ones out there. For a long time, I just didn't really think that they were worth actually playing. I just thought they were kind of funny things that people did to games, or altered them in weird ways with new graphics, or, you know, weird concepts. But this one was actually a lot of fun, and so I'd love to know, you know, in the comments below if you guys have played other ones that you think are worth it. If there's other Castlevania hacks or other games like this that I should play, let me know in the comments below. And then if you haven't done so yet, like I said, be sure to like this video, as it really helps out the channel, and subscribe and turn on those bell notifications as well, as it really helps out the channel, and you'll get updated the new videos that come out that we do on everything nerdy as well. But again, guys, thanks for tuning in, and if you'd like to help us support the channel, pick out videos and more, consider becoming a patron of ours over at nerdproblemsgaming.com/Patreon. Again, that's nerdproblemsgaming.com/Patreon. And then if you'd like to plug into our live streams and Let's Plays that we do on the channel from time to time, you can follow us over on Twitch at nerdproblemsgaming.com/Twitch. Again, that's nerdproblemsgaming.com/Twitch. But once again, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.